Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4. And today, spawning in the southwest corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got representing Izzy Esports. It's Marinelord, playing as the Byzantines. And his opponent in the northeast, playing in red, we've got 3D Cat, playing as the Abbasid dynasty. Welcome everyone to Lipany. It's been a while. We haven't seen Lipany for a while. Kind of excited for this matchup. Byzantines versus the Abbasid dynasty. I gotta say, actually, we have seen this matchup quite recently on the channel. A couple of times as well. I'm pretty excited to see whether these guys can throw any curveballs, change up how it's played out, and see if they have any different strategies on show. Either way, hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and hopefully having a great day. If you're not having a great day, well, maybe hopefully I can help things on that front, and maybe give you a bit of entertainment with some great Age of Empires 4 casted content. Hopefully this will be a good game for us. The Byzantines have had a bit of a buff recently, so bear that in mind with the system. Do have a starting buffering of 10% extra gather rate of the villagers. A very nice little boost. That is for sure. But going up against an Abbasid dynasty that have been a relatively strong civilization for a while, although maybe kind of gone out a bit of fashion. Considering obviously the new variant civilizations that came with the Sultan's Ascend DLC did bring us the Ayyubids. The Ayyubids, maybe they're a bit more popular than the Abbasids. Either way, they've got a couple of options, of course. They've got the economic wing, they've got the military wing, they've got the culture wing, got the trade wing. And we do often see the military wing being played out and then going into maybe a second town centre, maybe the castle age. The Byzantines are an interesting one. I like to think of Age of Empires 4 in many ways, but one in particular in terms of civilization matchups is one civilization often has a bit of more of a prominent or dominance, I would say, in doing what they want to do. And then it's often up to the other civilization to try and stop that, counter it, challenge it, pressurize it, you name it. They've got to do something. They've got to react. And the question about this particular civilization matchup, the Byzantines and the Abbasid dynasty, whether there is one civilization that's more dominant than the other, I'm not so sure. It feels like they actually do have a good, decent power spike in the civilization, like tech ups, in a similar sort of fashion. Like the Byzantines, a lot has been made about them, about their castle age, and I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that by the time they reach the castle age, their cistern is up and running, they've got multiple water levels, conscriptios up and running, and you can imagine if they've got water level 3, that would be a 60% production speed on their buildings as well, so the eco and the production scales really well, nicely hand in hand for the Byzantines. Bear in mind as well, by then they probably have a bit of olive oil in the bank, probably have a couple of mercenaries. Now, the Abbasid dynasty, for a long time, they've been seen as a feudal age powerhouse, being able to get second town centre relatively cheaply with the economic wing, getting fresh foodstuffs, cheaper villagers. It can be very nice because, of course, a lot of cost attributed to a second town centre and keeping it running is the food. Well, it's the only cost, really, because that's what villagers cost. They cost food. But getting that discount on the fresh foodstuffs does mean, therefore, they can, well, save a little bit on that and scale that economy nicely and then translate it into military, which is, it's military that wins games of Age of Empires 4 after all. And it will be an economic wing opening. It'll be the Grand Winery for the Byzantines, so accessing an extra 60% olive oil with the berry bushes or the olive groves, that's going to scale really nicely to the mid to late game. The Abbasid dynasty opening with economic wing will give him access to Fertile Crescent, going to be reducing the cost of economy buildings, whether it be town centres and houses, and he goes straight for that. So it's a very kind of, I wouldn't say old school, but it's a very early build for the Abbasid dynasty. We've come to know and love this build for, we had it really near the beginning of Age of Empires 4 release, and we're seeing it even now, this far forward in 2024. It is going to be a second base as well for the Marinelord and the Byzantines. Gets the second cistern. We'll need to connect them up there with an aqueduct. Bear in mind as well, the Byzantines do actually get some stone trickling in when they do place the foundations. Now, actually, to be fair, would it be a second town? It feels like it, right? There's a lot of villagers. 9 villagers on stone? That can't just be for cisterns, right? Surely. We'll have to see, but I suspect it's a second town centre. Quite a few villagers on stone as well for 3D Cat, although just come off because he's building that second town centre. And a forward position on the deer camp and the gold. I don't like this because getting both food sources and gold and stone could be important. Maybe think about a third town center. That'd be super greedy. We have seen it before. That can be kind of cool to see, I've got to say, because again, fresh foodstuffs really helps keep those town centers running. Now, I'd like to say, if you guys are watching on YouTube and if you're enjoying the content recently, first of all, Appreciate all your support for sure, but make sure you subscribe to the channel because of course we're having plenty more casted content coming your way. And speaking of coming the way, Marinelord will be well, the scouts coming along Marinelord's way, going to be spotting out exactly where this second town set coming in from Marinelord. It's going to be on the stone berries and the deer camp, and 3D Cat is totally aware of this now. Going to start torching this down, but obviously not get too much value from that. Scout just being a pest, really. But matching like for like, and now it comes to the question, yeah, it's going to be third town center. I like this, right? Because without this third town center for the Abbasids, it feels like, the Byzantines going 2 town centers matching the Abbasids. I feel like the Byzantines just have a stronger economy, right? 10% buffering. In fact, he's not even going to bother connecting them, which is actually kind of funny because he's actually going to get the 10% buffering on all these villages. Now, connecting them up will give him an additional 4%, but kind of interesting to see, right? He wants the second town center first. It makes a lot of sense. The third town center going on the berries. Of course, the Abbasids do get a bit of a bonus on the berries when they get the mill, increases the amount of food on them. And Marinelord's going to be aware of this third town center. Going to get an outpost in that forward position, probably just as well. Gets extra vision, but also a bit of security. Builds it a little bit further out. And is now looking to just connect that up, connect the dots with the aqueducts. Alright, very kind of quiet opening, but bear in mind, in games like this, when you don't see too much early aggression, I can tell you one thing. You're almost certainly going to see a lot of aggression in the mid to late game. Because both players are going to be building up that economy and then rocking and rolling. Plenty of sheep coming in from Marinelord. Holy moly, 12 of them. That's actually a little bit rough. I mean, 3D Cat's kind of expiring his sheep now already as we speak, but it does have access to berries, of course, and the deer camp on the front position. Speaking of deer camp, it's actually Marinelord's going to have to rely on the berries, which isn't necessarily a problem because with the Grand Winery landmark, the 60% buffering is actually on berries and olive groves, but not on deer camp. So, as far as I'm aware anyway, I don't believe you get any olive oil extra on the deer camp. I'm sure YouTube comments will let me know of that one. I'm fairly sure, but it's been a while since I've casted Age of Empires 4. A little bit of rust in there. Getting an archery range. Now, what's kind of exciting in terms of army composition, we do often see the archers being preferentially chosen by the Abbasids because of the fact that they do get 2 really strong upgrades in the castle age if they do go for the military wing, that is. It's a boot camp. Has an additional 50% HP, but also composite bows, which is the big one, right? Attack speed of archers increased by 33%. It's absolutely massive. I tell you what's massive is the range of the longbowmen. That's what's heading forward. The mercenaries chosen the Western mercenary contract for the Byzantines, heading forward with the Limitane. Now, this army composition, for me, is kind of feels like it should be illegal in Age of Empires 4. The reason why is because you've literally got the best of everything. Got Limitane, arguably one of the best spearman units you can get in the game. The Donsos might have something to say about that. But the longbowmen with extra range is absolutely phenomenal. So you've got the best archers in terms of range at least. Yo, Paris 2, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. And yeah, for everyone else who's been subscribed and a YouTube channel member as well, thank you so much. I really mean it because it actually really helps a long way to help me, justify making content. Because obviously it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig, but we're getting there, slowly growing the channels and whatnot. And my kind of hope is to go full time. That'd be amazing for a variety of games, whether it be Age of Empires or Stormgate, Zero Space. I have separate channels for those games, so looking good. But I'll tell you what's looking good. Picking off a couple of villages already here, the Byzantines, and whilst he does have 3 town centers, you can't afford to lose too many of these guys. Can't afford to lose too many of your villages. You have to pay a decent amount for them, and a good amount of damage coming in. So Marinelord going to stick with 2 town centers and just put some pressure on the town centers that, well, Cat has. Does have arrow slits with the outpost, so playing very greedy, and you're going to get the static defenses to try and protect that as well. Whoa, holy moly, Paris 2, holy smokes, come in with 20 gifted subs. Jeez Louise, dude. Thank you so much. Holy smokes, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Jeez. Yeah, exactly. I think we deserve that emote there. Holy moly. And hopefully, guys, if you actually got a gifted sub there, make sure you give Paris 2 a very big thank you because absolute legend. And I'll tell you who else is a legend. Both these players, actually, because Marinelord, you guys will know him from the StarCraft community if you're not aware of him from the Age of Empires 4. Obviously, Age of Empires 4 a relatively new game comparatively in the RTS scene. And so we'll see if he can perform some legendary actions here today, because up against the Abbasid dynasty, 3 town centers. Look at the villager lead already, scaling very nicely. Paris 2, you're very, very welcome. Thank you so much. It's going to be the Golden Horn Tower to the Castle Age. Again, no real surprises there. Going to give him access to free units. And does have water level 3 as well now, so going to get that water level up very nicely. 18% gathering rate of the villagers, which scales very nicely as you increase the water level. More importantly, conscriptio, right? So 60% extra production speed, loses the villager there on the right side, but does get the palisade half built. So it'd be... Wait, has he got the right side open? Is he... Okay, he's closed it up. Good, good, good. So he's nice and closed. But this is one of the benefits that I really like about the aqueduct system for the Byzantines, because not only are they scaling the economy, but they're also scaling the production capabilities. And that's going to be powerful as he does reach the Castle Age. Now, Cat does get to the Castle Age himself. No, we didn't quite check what that was, actually. Was it the military wing? Yeah, it is the military wing. And no real surprises, right? Because you can't really afford not to go military wing. When you got access to upgrades like boot camp, composite bows, like you can't not go for it. Gonna go for a mosque in an awkward position, actually, right at the front. Like if he's pressured and he has relics there, that's not necessarily where you want it. But I guess he feels like he's not going to be pressurized anytime soon. Gonna go for a lot of barracks and should be able to sustain that, actually. I like this play, actually. This is really nice because Ghulam ultimately counters what Marinelord has. Bear in mind that with the large standing army of longbowmen, he can kite for a little while. Does he have steeled arrow? Yes, he does. And Iron Undermesh is there for the Ghulam. So Ghulam will get some value, but ultimately it's a numbers game. And Marinelord should be able to hold on for a little while. The Ghulam going to be kited, and Limitana is a good meat shield. The longbow is behind. The Ghulam won't be able to achieve too much. But that could get out of control, especially as the camel riders ride on in. Looking to get some raiding value. Villagers pulled away on the stone. Look at the reactions there from Marinelord. He is on point. Looking to extend that system to network level 4. Ghulam chasing down. And ultimately, he doesn't feel confident, actually, because there's only 4 Ghulam, right? But this is showing you the power of certain unit types. Only 4 Ghulam pushing away all those Limitane and longbows. Going to take the fight now. Should be... Yeah, he's fine now. He's in the safety of the town centre as well if he needs to. Villagers being pulled away from gold. That's not really what Marinelord wants. He's under a bit of pressure, I gotta say. The Camel Rider will be dead pretty soon. Ghulams have run out of steam. It feels like maybe the Abbasid dynasty looking to zerg their way through. That's a good StarCraft reference. Kind of give you an idea of maybe the action plan here. Does need... I mean, it doesn't actually have Golden Age yet. He's going to want that. Tier 2. Ghulam about to charge down the longbows. Again, he's just trickling in units, and he can afford to do this. Is keeping Marinelord active and busy with the villagers, keeping them like garrisoned as much as possible. He's going to keep some of them idled. And this is doing a lot of damage. Like, he hasn't necessarily killed villagers, keeping them idle, keeping the army back at home. And that's allowing 3D Cat's economy to really do its work. Like, this may seem like a throwaway of Ghulam, although they're actually getting decent value. But, I mean, ultimately they will die. But this may seem like a throwaway of units, but he's got a much bigger strategic plan behind this. What this is allowing to happen is allowing the Abbasid dynasty economy to rock and roll, unharmed, untampered with, unpressurized. And... He's ahead, right? He knows he's ahead in terms of economy. Because this is a lot of army. That could be doing a lot of damage. We saw earlier how quickly these longbows killed villagers. And he's got 20 of them. Like, you can imagine if these longbows were harassing the economy, it could be devastating. But what he's counteracting this with is just a couple of Ghulam pushing this away. Alright, so maybe looking to dive. He's actually got a lot of Ghulam. This could be a good fight. I mean, he's got a couple of ringing guards, they're the Byzantines, so it should be okay. The longbow's chasing the Ghulam away now, though. Doesn't quite have enough. So, question in chat. Is the food in the early game as important as it was in AoE 2? I remember you need to get the boar, deer, berries. It seems like in AoE 4 you can skip more food and trade gold. Yes, so, I mean, kind of. I mean, the food is still very important in Age of Empires 4. Oh, loses them. He deletes the manga out there. I think, yeah, he deletes the manga out rather than building it up. Varangian Guard's going to chase that down. But yeah, on that thought, the age up requirements are a little bit different. Age of Empires 2, you need just food to age up to the next stage feudal age. But in Age of Empires 4, you need both food and gold. So that's why they were mining gold in the early game. But ultimately in the feudal age, gold is a little bit less important until you want to get to the castle age. Because it does need a bit of gold to get to the castle. Marinelord, will it go up? I mean, this is the benefit of the Abbasid dynasty. You can build these siege engines on the floor. This could be a big defining moment in this game. Marinelord possibly pushing out. Gulam going to tank that front line. I mean, the Gulam a really nice meat shield for that. And all of a sudden now, Marinelord has to back away. The Marinelord just proving a little bit too dangerous and is going to have to think about getting a siege workshop. There it is. Immediate reaction, of course, to get a siege workshop for a springald of his own to try and counter that. But is it going to be too late? Marinelord deploy. Will it deploy there for Cat? Will he get a good shot off? No, it doesn't quite manage it. The units does get out of range there for Marinelord. We didn't see any big bada booms. I wish we could have, but maybe we still will at some point. Trying to get security on the west side. I love this addition to detail, Cat. Getting those outposts. 20 villages behind, but you can't necessarily think of it in that way because, you know, Marinelord does have 2 relics in the bank. Getting the 3rd one in as well. But bear in mind, the water level 5 now. Holy smokes. He's going to get 26 extra villager gathering rates. So, I mean, ultimately, he's actually the same. If anything, he's a bit ahead. Oh, a couple of land skirmishes in there. Will be absolutely doing so much damage on the Gulam. Marinelord deploys. Will he get another shot on this or not? He is going to head back home. Does lose the Marinelord to the Springald in the end. Gulam mass on the front line. Going down to the Varangian Guards in many ways. Crossbows there for 3D Cat. Another wave of Gulams going to come in to reinforce that meat shield front line for 3D Cat. Doing a decent job of it. Does have a couple of crossbows there as well, though. So Marinelord should be okay. Although the Gulam numbers looking a bit scary and the crossbows behind as well. So the Varangian Guards shouldn't be able to hold on for too much longer with that number of crossbows. Trying to gap close on top of those longbows as much as possible. But again, the longbows are kiting heavily. Yeah, we're just going to switch over to here because there's a bit of a Varangian Guard raiding going on the berries. Villagers had to back away. Either way, on the front lines, the Gulam's having to head back a little bit. Can maybe take down that outpost before the Marinelord placement goes down, and that's probably a good shout, actually. Nice play there by Cat to recognise that this could become a Marinelord emplaced outpost. In fact, he's going to back away. Just doesn't have enough to torch it down just yet. Deals with the Varangian Guard mass, and now looking to group into the middle of the map and the outposts. Crossbows still trying to get value on the Varangian Guards. They are backing away. Not enough crossbows just yet. There's always got to be careful here. 3D Cat those land skirmishes. They do massive Age of Empires AoE damage, and that can be really devastating if they on top of the crossbows or the Gulams. Is kind of being pushed back a little bit. Maybe the Byzantine powerhouse economy is starting to scale. I think this is really strong. Like, the system has really worked really nicely for Marinelord. Despite it being a villager deficit, ultimately the villagers have been working faster for a long time and to a large degree. 26% at this point. And this army is looking scary. Marinelord, he's pushing on in, has a couple of Varangian Guards. Will he take the fight? That's the question, 3D Cat. I'm not sure if he has enough. If those land skirmishes gets involved, they are getting involved and doing so much damage. Longbowmen absolutely decimating those Gulam and those crossbows on the back line. Varangian Guards there, they're kind of struggling. The good thing for the Byzantines, they can always back away with the longbowmen if they need to. And the Gulams are pretty low on health, so they can't necessarily charge this down for too long. This is an overextension by Cat. He can't really justify this, I don't think. Yeah, he backs away now. Understandably so. Now, behind all of this, he's on the deer camp. Has he got the transition? He's got the olive grove transition coming in now. That's a lot of olive groves going down. And that's going to be great for that olive oil. Adding into more mercenaries, that means more longbowmen. Now, the one thing that is kind of lacking here, Marinelord, is a bit of siege, but it's understandably so, right? At this point, this is the point where you transition into siege. Has a plenty of wood in the bank. Question is, does he have siege engineering? If he doesn't, he'll want it. He doesn't have it just yet. Could be a potential upgrade for him. And he could also just make the rounds from the siege workshop. A couple of Gulam trying to break from the west side. Oh, Marinelord. Will it deploy? It will deploy. Will he get value there? Marinelord. Oh, yeah, he does just about get out of there. And the Springald working hard. Yeah, he takes out the Marinelord. That's huge. Losing the Marinelord again, Cat. He hasn't had the big shots that he would have wanted. Gonna look to try and burn this outpost down now. Does have arrow slits, but it probably is not going to be enough against the Varangian Guards. This is looking bad for Cat. Down to 30 military. Marinelord up at 68. He's got 2 of the sacred sites. I would love to see him get that 3rd sacred site just to get that objective done and possibly be a match-winning objective. The question is, can Cat push this back? I mean, he's got plenty of villagers. He's going to be grouping up together to take one big fight, and it's understandable. He has to give away a bit of ground. I think he's fine to lose his town centre. I think it will be okay, because ultimately he needs to make sure the next fight he wins in a big way. If he doesn't, then he's just going to lose the game. He's heading on out. Maybe this is the time. Siege Workshop being torched down. Maybe now looking to take the barracks. We'll see. It does have a decent number of crossbows. Ringing Guard's going to take that front line. Now, if the Ringing Guards go down to the crossbows, that could give a window of opportunity for the Abbasids, but he's struggling, losing the Springald. Does have an outpost, but not fully garrisoned. Villagers dying on that wood line to a Ringing Guard. Landskirmisher getting top of this. Cat, he's struggling in a big way. Marinelord with a massive push now. Almost 22 minutes into the game. Marinelord's scaling the economy behind all of this. 102 villagers, so he's definitely been working, been busy behind this. The Bass is starting to push out a little bit. Does have boot camp, by the way, so does have a little bit of extra HP than his counterpart. Crossbows, but doesn't seem like it's been enough up to this point. A couple of outposts dotted around the map, looking to get the gold. So bear in mind on this map, a lot of gold in the middle, and this is kind of the stage of the game where gold is becoming key and important. Cat securing that gold vein. But here come the Limitane, or the Kyosiphon rather. And it's going to burn his way through. We did talk about it earlier in the game, right? A bit of a dubious spot for that mosque. So does lose access to that relic for now. 3 relics in play already for Marinelord, looking to get the 4th. Oh, he's burning things down quick time. Holy moly, the Kyosiphon doesn't mess about. Doesn't take long for the town center to go down. Only 2,500 HP. Going to be absolutely decimated quick time. There it goes. And, well, he's losing more ground. Wait. Hello? Oh, okay. He's just going to let it burn naturally. There we go. And then it's going to take out infrastructure. This is an issue. Like, there's only a certain amount of ground that Cat can give away. Good, I'm about to dive in through. They get burnt as well if they get in line. Doesn't want to get too close to the Kyosiphons. Crossbows are working hard on the back line, but Springald going against each other. And it is the Byzantines that win that one. He's giving up ground. He's trying to hold on, Cat, but he's losing a bit too much for my liking to think that he can come back on this one. We'll try to get the Sacred Site on the west side. That keep actually does wonders for trying to defend that. Villagers might try and burn down and torch down the Kyosiphons. Should get 1 at least. He's got 2. And it's got to get the 3rd, maybe. Oh no, there's a Kyosiphon behind that outpost. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's behind it. But the villagers will torch it down. Still 140 villagers, which is very healthy. Trouble is, military-wise, he's really dwindling down to 10 military. This is not looking great for 3D Cat. You can understand why he's fighting on. After all, this is the Elite Classic. Lots at stake. But he lost so many villagers there. Holy smokes. You can see the dead bodies. And now he's really struggling. He's killed 49 villagers so far, Marinelord. And he's got a farming transition in the back on the east side. But ultimately, I think Marinelord can just do this forever, right? 54 military just diving on there. And the question is, will he turn his attention to this west side and this keep? Got another keep here to defend, but again, he's just hemorrhaging. A couple of Varangian guards going on the back line and going into the eco. If he gets onto these farms, it could be really problematic. Cat really struggling. He's still getting good food though, 2,000 food per minute. He's got a lot of economy back on the west side, and his economy's been strong for so long. He's staying alive for as long as possible. Imperial Age coming in soon now though, for an engineering company. Kyosiphons though, starting to group up in numbers, and maybe they can take out down the keeps. And this is certainly looking dicey for Cat, but he's still not out of it actually. For all things considered, he's not fully out of it. Because he's still got a healthy income of food, a healthy income of, well, a decent income of gold. Not perhaps what he would have loved to have been at this stage of the game, but it's a decent amount. Keep trying to be repaired. You can see what he's trying to do, trying to hold it for as long as possible. He doesn't actually have textiles, by the way. That's kind of a big oof. That's kind of rough, not having textiles. I was thinking for a second there, he lost his villagers very quickly. Not that it matters too much, because it's probably a lot of overkill from those longbows. Horsemen about to dive in on those longbows. Now with the Imperial Age already in for the Byzantines, this is where it becomes go time for 3D Cat. He has to push this back. Loses the keep, though. He's starting to build up in numbers of military, but again, only half what Marinelord has, and does have a couple of raiding units, bringing in guards, taking out villagers. But ultimately, he just needs to do infrastructural damage. I think that's the win condition for Marinelord. Like, he can kill villagers if he wants, but looks like Cat just keeps making them again. Horsemen, they're chasing. They're chasing the siege. Oh, Land Skirmishes will get on top of that, though. Horsemen get absolutely decimated. And Mangonel as well for the Byzantines. This is looking increasingly hard for 3D Cat to hold. He has pushed a bit, and he has got a bit of ground back. Mangonel deploys. It looks like the infantry there for the Byzantines is going to get right on top of that. This is not looking great. Loses the Mangonel again for the third time, but does get a good shot off onto the longbows. Gulam's having to back away. The army heading back forward again for the Byzantines. He's gaining momentum, had to back away. He gave a little to give a lot, to get a lot, and he's moving further forward. Limitana again. Just, they're working hard on that front line. On the west side, a couple of Cairo Ciphers to take down that keep on the west side, and yeah, he will get it eventually. Although maybe not actually villagers there. They could torch that down, although he does have a couple of ringing guards. So he might wait, bringing guards on the farming transition on the back line, and again on the front. I mean, he's still holding, to be fair. He's lost a lot of military, Marinelord, down to 24. We'll lose the Mangonel. This is a good hold by Cat. Holy moly. He's still holding, fighting tooth and nail, but he's got to be careful about the Landsknechte. If they get onto villagers, it will be a decimation. He's lost 81 so far already, and he's still bleeding. Oh no, the village is getting absolutely decimated. Oh god, they're trying to torch it down, but they're in the line of fire. Oh my god, they get absolutely burnt alive. And the Cairo Siphons should get the keep in the end. You have to come round the back. You can't go right on top of the flames there for the Cairo Siphons. Oh god, that was decimation. The second town center, or third town center really. Oh, he keeps it alive. But it's just looking to torch down the Cairo Siphons, but a good couple of ranged units for Marinelord will deal with that. Taking care of the outpost on the east side, and it's going to look to maybe cap the sacred site just to really solidify that position. It's always an option. Judging on how much that Cat's holding, that could be the way, actually. Sacred site victory. Well, has an STBs added in? Of course, it's in the Imperial Age. So, for every minute that passes, it becomes a really big mountain to climb. 3D Cat has absolutely no gold coming in. And I think at this point, he's going to struggle. Especially with the Limitane, they can always use the shield wall ability and then move on forward. They're elite Limitane as well. Nesta Bees, Limitane, and Cannoneers. The Byzantines have got it all. He's trying to hold on. He's trying to kite as much as he can with the Abbasid Dynasty archers. Now, bear in mind they do have boot camp. They will have composite bows. Cairo Ciphers now taking out farms. Nesta Bees, 2 of them as well. That is not what the archers want to see. They'll be very scared, although the horsemen will dive on top of those Nesta Bees. Should get one. Nesta Bees still firing off. Is on the spread formation with those archers, but the horsemen get taken down by the Limitane. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Cat losing those archers to those Nesta Bees. Not looking good. Again, Cairo Ciphers, again, taking the infrastructure down. That's the key bit of detail, right? Because you can keep fighting, but if you don't take your infrastructure down, it doesn't necessarily work that way. He will still be able to produce, but without the production buildings, they've been taken down. Look at the foundations, the ruins left behind of the Abbasid dynasty here. And he's pumping. Marinelord pushing on forward. I'm not so sure this push can be denied. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 3D Cat taps out. He held on for so long and just as well, because he, it is the big tournament from EGC TV. But Marinelord, he sees it out in the end. Hope you guys enjoyed this castle game on YouTube. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.